What's up, guys? What up, Alex? What up, Reg? Look at that pump. Did this man just snort a line? Stop saying that before you get me banned off of YouTube for real. I already got banned once for some fake stuff. Imagine if it actually had a reason. Pero the sugar booger, the booger sugar, I don't do that, my bro. I'm actually highly against the booger sugar. My best friend overdosed on some booger sugar. Jeez, Louise, what are you doing? Check this out. Asian sells. Check this out. Screenshot this. Asian sells. New York sells. Sells again. Sells again. This was an early entry. The actual move was this right here. You could see the same setup here, 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 here. The breakouts that I used to take, I've had to adapt, and instead of scalping this 20 pip push on these continual breakouts, the reversal on that same breakout strategy gives me way more of a push than the breakout. You see the breakout here, 38 pips versus the reversal, 90 pips. The breakout here, 50 pips versus the reversal, 160 pips. I hate being a dumbass with a mouse, bro. I have such fat fingers. Holy shit. We'll see options. The difference was that in the beginning of Trump, the first few months, and last year when I was taking these setups, when we would get these breakouts would continue. These breakouts would continue like this for 100 pips. You get a breakout right here. This breakout drove 64 pips. Before, in the beginning of Trump, we were getting very nice breakouts and continuations. I mean, look at this breakout. This shit never came back. Once you broke out here, look at this drive. It's all about accuracy though, bro. What gives me the higher accuracy play? What gives me the higher probability setup? What gives me profit the majority of the time where I'm in and out in profit? All of those scalps helped me hold longer. Literally taking those scalps helped me identify the better setup. It's still a decent setup, but the better setup is to wait to see if we do continue, then it is going to be a major continuation. I'll take the second rebreak. But if we don't continue, we're more than likely going to be, it's going to be a reversal and price is going to retrace. I was expecting price to retest VWAP here. That was my short here. When I shorted here earlier, I was up like 20-30 pips for a little while. The idea was to short till here to catch the 50 pips from here to here. Once I saw that we closed below here, but we still started driving up, I waited. My stop loss was at the daily high, and I waited to see what we did at this level. When I saw that we rejected at this level and we had that massive volume candle down breaking the trend here, I took an entry on the second candle or third candle. And then market open. We got the dump. I had my TPs right here, both of them. So this one was going to be up like 40 pips in profit. And this one was going to be up 100 pips in profit. So it was 100 on this one. And then 40 or 50 on this one, totaling 300 bucks. This is an ICT setup right here. Draw from a order block. What is this? Your inverted IFVG, or you have an FVG here. Ding ding. This is literally an ICT setup right here. That same thing, but upside down is what I took here. The 5-minute rule to the T, bro. Look at this. 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, 4 minute, 5 minute on the pullback. I had to close here. Yeah, you can't force someone to see something that they don't notice, that they don't see in the market. Like, I just wasn't seeing that at all. I'm also bearish. I don't know why I'm still extremely bearish. Maybe I have too much faith in the United States. Maybe I have too much faith in Trump. So, the reason why I was bearish was because of the money printer to the downside. But this push happened at the very end of the week, creating a doji weekly candle. We money printed the opposite way, retested the previous weekly close, and drove. The idea was the money printer, once this weekly flipped officially, I was going to full send sells. And this was the 5% retracement that I was talking about options, right? The weekly money printer, when we had the money printer here on the weekly, right? When we had it here, we retraced 244 pips or 2044 pips. So that retraced 6%. So ideally, after re-grabbing orders from all of these highs here, the idea was to money print to the downside. When you look at your daily candles, you're breaking your trend line here, right? The idea was to money print here to the downside. You break the trend on the daily going upwards. You flip on the weekly money printer, and then ideally we get this candle with no top or bottom when basically filled for that 5% drop. So if I get that 5% drop, each of my contracts will be worth $35 each. Or I'll tell you right now. So this is what the idea was. Makes perfect sense to me. Literally perfect sense. The money printer flipping on the weekly would be your trend line, the trend line breaking right here to the downside, your big volume candle to the downside, quite literally. The weekly flip here is literally your money printer on the weekly right here activating. It's literally the money printer. Money printer, usually we target candles with no top or bottom wicks, so that was the target to the bottom of the range here, that 5% retracement. And I have sells all the way from up here all through this. Sorry, I have sells from here, here, and here. I can't trust you, bro. I can only trust myself and my own analysis. If we get a 5% retracement, each of my contracts will be worth $15. That's a $600 profit. Why do these candles look like trash? The weekly and the monthly look so bad. Yeah, this monthly doesn't even have a bottom wick. We don't even have a bottom wick on the monthly. I would expect at least a liquidity grab like this here, and not these tiny little no wicks. We already did grab that liquidity here and we failed to drive for several weeks. Usually you grab it and you take the fuck off. You don't stall like this. Your monthly doesn't open up with no bottom wick like this with a weekly doji candle. We haven't had a weekly doji candle in almost a month. Even these candles had more or stronger bullish than this last monthly candle that just closed. Yeah, bro, I think we're slowing down. I think this is probably gonna happen. 7-8% retracement, maybe more. But I may be wrong. I'm also a moron, and you shouldn't listen to anything that I say. Everybody's got their own way of viewing things. $3K pips, holy shit. I'm up. $245 after being up 650 pips, going to negative 200 pips, going back up 500 pips, then going back negative 100 pips, and then I'm back up 245 pips. Slowing down at all-time highs? Not really, bro. Look at all these weeklies. Every time all-time high broke, it just kept flying, it just kept flying, it just kept flying. It broke here, consolidated. It tried to break, it consolidated. It tried to break it, it drove back into range. It tried to break, it failed. It tried again, it failed. It tried again, it failed. The last weekly failed again to close outside of the range. This is the very beginning of the week. So we're just failure after failure after failure after failure to break out. We don't see this at all. Look, it just drives, it just drives. It just takes off, it just takes off. It just flies. Usually, even here, like you have way cleaner structure here before it continued, cleaner structure here before it continued. This is just straight chop, straight indecision. I don't see anything clean about that weekly or monthly. Because we grabbed orders here, these higher highs and higher lows does seem more bullish to re-break highs here. Only here on the daily. It doesn't look like that on the weekly, the monthly, but on the daily, it definitely does look clean for bullish structure. If this was happening at these highs right here, I would have my buy set up to take the continuation. Maybe we get something like this. Ding, 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 ding. Another liquidity grab before the inevitable retracement. You have this trend line on your screen or something. One, two, three. Tory trades above the resistance. Boom. As long as it doesn't break below here, she holds the trade. Because we broke the trend line here, I don't fucking know. I don't give a shit. Oop. I've been extremely bearish and all I've been doing is selling and it's been working. See, where I took a loss, I tried to buy. Where I took a loss, I tried to buy. No. This was profit. Sell, buy, 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 buy. This was the loss where I tried to buy the breakout and I failed. And this is where I took the loss. Yeah, man. What do you see, bro? Sell, 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 sell. Sell. Sell, 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 sell. I took a buy here on the breakout. I've just been selling. I'm still a big fan of deleting everything and redrawing my lines fresh. I'll be back. Hey, bro, maybe my bearish bias will burn me. But as of yet, switching my bearish bias to bullish is what has caused me to take all the losses on this account. I gotta just keep my idea strong. Options, are you in some buys? It's an ugly hourly. I can't take buys like that. What the fuck was this drop here? Oh, this was market open. A market open trade. I only buy when I see buys. Hey, chat's kind of quiet today. What up, damn, I didn't see that. What up, Santos? How are you, bro? It's a good 4-hour trade. It's a good 4-hour resistance. Might be minor. How many pips to the next range? Fucking almost 300, 250. Shit. Yeah, I need like a higher time frame setup here. I can't just take like a wick entry anticipating a reversal here. Hey bro, whoever the fuck that toxic Blake is, I'm about to block your ass and you'll never be able to come on my stream again. Bot. Straight bot. Bot 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 bot. Yeah bro, how the fuck did you do that? I wasn't able to do it. You're quicker than me, bro. My fingers are dumb as shit. Nice. Holy shit, that was 100 pip retracement. Wow. Yeah, that would have been too fast for me to scalp anything there. These are massive ranges. There's some decent scalps that are fucking moving. I had to start fucking paying for the verification. People are making fake accounts and trying to scam under my name. If there's anybody that ever tells you, pretending to be me, that they'll sell you a course or they'll flip your money, it's a lie. Because I'm a dumbass. I don't even know how to trade. Okay? I'm an idiot. And I wouldn't sell anything because I'm a moron. Yeah, bro. Somebody look at the description. Like obviously you can tell because I don't speak stupid like this. The description of the guy's account says, "This is the very beginning of your legendary conversation." When will I ever say that, bro? This is the beginning of your legendary conversation. You're warmly welcome into our prestigious community. I hope you and your family are well. Good question mark? We are grateful for your presence here. I'm conducting a research and would like to hear about your experience in the current market and the challenges you are facing recently with trading accounts. So I can render my services. Can you please share your name and where you are reaching out from? Bro, that's the thing that you would think that. But bro, one of my friends that he day trades as well, and he like I'll give you an example. He took a $12,000 loss last year. Like that's how the size that he's trading. And a friend of mine disappeared for a little while, and out of nowhere came out driving Lamborghinis, being rich, and everybody was like confused, and they're like, "What the fuck? You were a normal dude, and within a couple of years, you're coming back, and now you have a Lamborghini, uh, um, a Rolls Royce, a penthouse on like the 80th floor in Miami at the very top." And then he's like, "Yeah, I started trading, and I flipped a lot of money." And then he started selling his trading course. So people made fake accounts, and one of my boys traced a lot of money. Got a message from one of the fake accounts. The fake account had like 30,000 followers at the time. You couldn't pay for verification. So my boy Brandon was trying to promote his business, and he wanted to get verified immediately. So he started paying for a lot of what are those websites that do like reviews on you or whatever, or like do like shit, they like ads on you, not ads, but like Forbes made an article about him, so you can pay for that kind of stuff. So once you have a certain amount, You get verified, but bro, it was a fake account, and he scammed my boy out of like $4,000. They sent him to some crypto website that it looks like you're investing, and it looks like you're investing in everything. You just send your crypto into the website. He was like, yeah, look, my name, Brandon, this, and that, and it was some scammer. He thought it was the real dude. He's like, oh no, this account's got more followers than the other one. I've never paid for anything. I've managed to ride the free train. Not at all. I talked to him today. Yesterday. What's up, Nadim? Crazy how Kick's chat doesn't pop up on here and some people be commenting on there. "30-minute closure." I gotta wait for the 30. Yeah, I'm also live on Twitch just in case YouTube decides to take me down again for any reason. I have a Twitch streaming as well. My dog, Doc. $2 minutes for this 30 closure. A new follower. Soy sauce. I ran out of soy sauce yesterday. Yes, sir. Had to join the Twitch guy because YouTube be tripping. Yeah. $30 close, no top wick. So trash. $160 pips. Holy shit. No, New York, I don't do Twitch. That looks like a clean breakout. I just don't like how the 30-minute closed. These ranges are huge, bro. Damn. "19 minutes ago, Israel dropped a preemptive strike on Iran." Man, that's depressing. What am I seeing right now? Just woke up. Just a buy stop about to be potentially set on the rebreak of the daily high. Yep. Exactly what you heard, my boy. What trader just subscribed? Hey. Wait. Where's that at? No way. No way. Clean. Bam. We're dumping here. Alright, delete. "15-minute closure coming up. 15-minute closure coming up, coming up, coming up, coming up, coming up." Yeah, everybody's posting, "Keep America out of it, not our war." Everybody's posting, "Not our war, not our war." I hope we don't send Americans over. I'm not trying to fight another war, bro. Shit. That is crazy, bro. I am anti all that shit, bro. 15-minute closure coming up. This is a 4-hour level here that we're closing back below after breaking out. I was trying to take a wick entry for sells somewhere here. I was attempting the money printer tunate, but I couldn't find a fucking area, bro. I couldn't find an area. I was like, damn, where's my next possible area, bro? I was looking and I couldn't find. We're coming right down to VWAP. Yeah, we kind of have to close back below here. Do this. So we just closed. We broke out, no top wick, created a top wick, came back down. We're now grabbing top wicks first. How many pips we got here? Damn, that's 300 pips to the top of this range. $15 no bottom wick though. See if we can get a 5-minute closure, pullback, and then a rebreak. Last 15 minutes. I'm gonna have to wait for this hourly close. I gotta wait for these higher time frames to give me wicks and to give me ranges. I need to use those as stop losses because these ranges are way too fucking big for me to take anything else. I mean, I can take a rebreak of the high. I can attempt a rebreak the last 15 minutes of the hourly with no bottom wick here. This war talk is probably gonna flip us bullish. Especially with the bombs that were dropped 19 minutes ago. Usually just flies through the area. It kind of just flies through, fills the range, and then comes back, retests it, and then drives. Let's see. Yeah, no, I can't take it. I can't. I cannot take it unless I see my setup because I've been too impatient and fucking up this payout. And just because I know where it's gonna go doesn't mean I can take a setup. I can take an entry without my setup. The reason for the setup, the setup is what you use to execute on your idea. Just because the idea is correct, if you don't see the setup, you can't take it because the setup is what gives you the edge. It's what gives you that high probability. Like, you see how Options was saying earlier that he was just straight bullish looking for buys only? And then what did he say after that? Wait for the pullback and then buy. Even though he knows where price is gonna go based off his analysis, he's still waiting for the setup, even though he knows he can just spam buys all night long knowing that eventually it's gonna get up there. But no, what gives you the edge is the setup. Finding the setup within your idea, being able to replicate it over and over and over and over. I mean, I showed it to you here, bro. The loss that I took, like, well, I held that shit for way too, not that I held it for way too long. I pineappled too many times. I could have just entered one entry and taken the full loss. When I took the sells earlier, took sells here. My stop loss was if we broke these highs and we went like this, That was my stop loss. Once we got to here, I took another entry here. Sorry, it was here. So here, stop loss above these levels, another entry here. Bro, have you guys seen those gorilla AI videos? Bro, check this out.
It's the key to that muscle-mind connection. First, you take a rip of that Benjamin, then you wash it down with a little bit of that white monster. Bro, I feel like everyone's staring at me. Here's the key to that muscle-mind connection. First, you take a rip of that Benjamin, then you wash it down.
You take a rip of that Benjamin. Buy stops on the rebreak of the highs here is what I wanted to take for the 9 o'clock open. I wanted it to hover, pull back, and then on the 9 o'clock open, regardless if we have a bottom wick or not, I would have had a buy stop. I can't take it this close. Not interested. Too close to the hourly. Too close. That is a clean setup though. That is a very clean breakout buy right there. That's already 14 pips in profit. You didn't miss anything. I haven't taken a trade tonight. I removed the buy stop that I had. Now that this closure's coming up. I mean, this is good. I like this. We can hit a major resistance. It doesn't want to give me my buy setup. The buy setup would have been the 15. If we would have had a bottom wick on that 15 candle instead of it driving up, I would have taken a buy stop on that rebreak of the daily high. If this rebreak of the high was happening 15 minutes earlier like it was, I had a buy stop set, but then we started pulling back here and created this right at the very end of the hourly. And that's not something that I can take at the very end of the hourly. Oh, that's up 30 pips. Maybe that's not the move. Maybe once this hourly pulls back, bottom wick, flip bullish, we can take an entry to fill the range for 100 pips. And then use 180 pip stops. Fuck, that's huge. That's why I need a bottom wick. Yeah, Iran dropped or Israel dropped a bomb on Iran, bro. Fortunately. Sadly, my bro. All these things upset me, one, because I don't like war, number two, because they're stopping the economic progress of the United States. We're now going to continue funding Israel. We're going to continue funding them on another war. We're going to continue sending tax dollars over there, continue indebting ourselves, and more people are going to, while the US gathers more debt. And that's upsetting. Who's winning? Playing Monopoly with my tax dollars and people's lives, dog. it was me, bro, I would just go over and be like, all right, all of you, it's over. None of you are in charge. I'm in charge. You're all fired. Next country. You're all fired. I'm in charge now. You're all my territories. What are you gonna do? I fund you. That's what I thought. We're gonna make you all tourist attractions, and you're gonna get funded by tourist dollars. And you're gonna be protected by us. And that's it. No more of this gay World War shit. No more. The fuck are you gonna do? Oh, you gonna protest? You're gonna protest. Bombs. Pow, pow. Something's gotta end it, bro. Too much bullshit. A strong hand's gotta come in there and say enough. Enough. All that money could have funded literally the entire recovery from COVID. Instead of printing it to send it across the sea, they could have printed it, stimulated our economy, and recovered from COVID within a year, 2 years. What are we gonna close? No topic? If this just keeps closing with no topic, man, that's the unfortunate reality of war news. I need a bottom wick, bro. We're probably not gonna get it. Why did I get stripped in Discord? You got stripped? Stripped of what? Alright, let's see if I can get a buy stop here on the rebreak of the highs. That was close. Yeah, it's not what I expected. I'm gonna delete these buy stops. That was not what I expected. See how far down this hourly is gonna go. I don't even have a level there I can sell off of. Let's set it up a bit higher to make sure it actually breaks and not just wicks. Yeah, this is the breakout setup. Let's see what it do here. I think that might activate me with spreads. Yeah, it rebroke the high. We should fly here. I don't know why YouTube is delayed, bro. I gotta figure that shit out. A lot of servers down across the globe. Like, what kind of servers? It's a 20-second delay. Yeah, I don't know why Streamlabs does that. I have to figure it out over the weekend. Three, 4, 2, 1. That's my buy stop. I just set it like 5, 6 pips above the break of the highs. Maybe 10 pips above the break of the highs. Yeah, I set it like 10 pips above. This is like the most annoying thing ever. What the hell is going on? You got wicked in too? Move my buy stop down to the flip of this 5-minute candle. What the fuck? And I'm in there. I don't know what the fuck I did there. I gotta refresh the page. Yeah, money printer off this level was what I was looking at. much drawdown was that? 56 pips? Holy shit. If this line breaks that high, that would have activated my other position. That would have activated me. I still have 2 minutes. Ideally, we keep shooting up to the top of the range, but we're gonna call that a break-even trade. There's nothing that I can secure there. Ideally, we just keep driving. Got 2 minutes. Congratulations, everybody. Patience paid off, and that is 50 pips on the trade. Patience paid off. If it comes all the way back down to my break even, it is what it is. Ideally, it doesn't and it continues driving. That's the plan. For it to just continue driving. This is the breakout. This is the move, the hourly of the 9 o'clock. This is the 9 o'clock push. We should see 100 pips, literally 100 pips on this move. I stacked 2. No, I lowered my risk. Oh, I thought you were talking to me. We should see literally 100 pips. I have 60 seconds left. I can't take anything. Options, if you're here, this is what we do. I wait for my entry using your signal. "30 seconds left." Two, 1, and we're gonna close 75% of the position. Actually, we're just gonna decide to close full there. I don't give a fuck. That's my last trade for the night. That was 63 pips. Full closure. I am up 110 pips for the session in 2 trades. Full closures. That's it. At 9:30, I'm gonna call it. And that's my last trade for the night. All night. Several hours waiting, 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 waiting. Bro, Bougie, Nate, we have literally grown our strategy, speaking to each other and bouncing ideas off of each other. Earlier in the morning, the shorts that we took in the that I took in the morning, that right here, the 30-minute short, what was it? That Bougie took the exact same entry. We saw the same thing. We had the same identical entry. I gotta add 2 wins to this. So that is I gotta add 2 wins. So that's a new follower. Codes, I appreciate you for following, brother. I appreciate you for following. I could have taken the partials here and then let this the rest of this rock. But without that hourly top wick and the wick fill happening, to me that makes me a little sketch, right? With it, I mean, oh, we did get the wick fill. What was I looking at? Ah, shit, look at this 15 closure. Oh well. Like I said, we should see 100 pips off this move. We should see the full range be hit. Yep. Yep. Shout out to options for the signal. What signal? Brother, the one that you wrote all the way earlier around 7:45 2 hours ago. Bye. Hell yeah. What an entry. What an entry. What a trade. What a trade. What a trade. Not gonna lie, I was very nervous and I was like, why aren't you activating me? And it didn't activate me because it was setting up for a better entry. The runner would have been up an extra 60 pips. No, I closed up here. The runner would have been up an extra 28 pips. The runner was a quarter of the position. At 28 pips would have been the equivalent. Runner at 100 pips would have been the equivalent of 22 extra pips on the full position. So I just closed it here because it was an extra 15 pips. And full TP. Look, my breakout setup, I took it when everything aligned. When everything aligned, I take my breakout setup. When everything aligns, I take sells. When everything aligns, I take sells. National Guard is leaving LA. Nice. Maybe now that we hit this 4-hour level, we'll see a dump. Yeah, that's debatable. I think it's all a psyops. Immigrants are no more in danger now than we were under Biden, under Obama, under the last 50 million thousand presidents. It's been the same under everybody. The only difference is that for Cubans and Haitians, specifically, when we crossed the border and we would come to the United States, we would cross illegally, get caught by the border patrol, turn yourselves in and say you're seeking asylum. And then within 30 days, you get your food stamp card, your Medicaid card, and you get a little piece of paper saying you're allowed to stay in the US until your court date. So, you can't work, no worker's permit, no visa, nothing. But you get government assistance. So what happened to my cousin and his wife? They spent an entire year living in the living room of my mom's house because they couldn't work. But they were getting food stamps, so they were helping out by supporting the house through food and through the extra income that they were getting. They got like tablets that were like with cheap phone bills, little things like that the government gives all the immigrants now. Literally cell phones. They give you government phones with like with data and shit for like with plans, government plans. They give you government tablets. And my grandma literally has a government tablet. She still has hers. And she's like, oh, I bought a tablet off of Temu, but this government one is just so much better. My grandma. Bro, people say that illegal immigrants don't get any benefits. It's a lie, my brother. My family, who's literally crossed the border while they're waiting for their asylum case without being able to work and pay a single penny in taxes, has a fat $800 a month food stamp card. That's insane. So what do the Cubans do? They immediately go to a lawyer and they apply for their residency. So it's whichever comes first. Either your residency comes first or your worker's permit comes first. You want your residency to come first because if your worker's permit comes first, your residency takes years. For example, my cousin, within a year of him applying, he got his residency in the mail. January 1st of last year, he got his residency in the mail. His wife got her worker's permit first. So she's got to wait even longer to be an actual resident. So like that's how it is, bro. You're here legally, technically, but you can't work, you can't pay taxes, you can't drive you don't have a license, you can't get one. All you can do is take government assistance. That's all you can do. And it's for Haitians and for Cubans right now. So, what do you think is going on, right? At the Haitian immigration office that's by my house, you see 80-year-old, 70-year-old, 60-year-old Haitians that are like all fucked up on walkers coming over. You think they're gonna work? No, they're gonna be on government assistance and Medicaid for the rest of their life here in the United States. It's either they live like shit here in the US or they live like shit in Haiti. So what are they doing? The old ladies are going to the grocery stores and standing outside and asking for food. And they would tell people, they'll sit down and be like, hey, can you buy me chicken? And you're like, what a burden to let someone into the country who can't work. All they can do is take government assistance and it be paid from my tax dollars. That's what a burden. That's why people are pissed, bro. Because of shit like that. Then you have the good immigrants like my cousin, who came and within a year and a day, he started working. He started paying taxes. He's been paying taxes now for an entire year. He's gonna get his first tax returns. He got his first tax returns this year. Like, he's living the American dream. He's working for a company now. He's renting his own apartment. But what happens to the 80-year-old that's out there begging for chicken? Once they get their papers and their worker's permit, you think they're gonna work? We're gonna start seeing a lot of homeless immigrants, people unable to work, uneducated, with no skills, being let in, given a bunch of food stamps so they survive for a little while, and then out of nowhere, once the stuff runs out, they're fucked. I'm glad gold is also going up so that I can average into my gold sells. I literally have months on my options, bro. I'm literally banking on the US economy retracing and gold dumping at least 5%. I have another 3 months for at least 5% retracement. If it keeps going up, I'll keep averaging in. The options, each contract went from being worth like $20 to $40 to now being worth like $6 or $7 each contract. So I can literally load up once the contracts are worth like $15, $20 again. That's a $15 gain per contract. If I buy 10 of them, 20 of them, that's once I'm back to break even on the other ones, I'm gonna be up like $400, $500, $600 on the ones that I'm buying up here. I'm literally averaging in on these options and just swinging them till the end of the year. I'm giving myself till the end of the year for Trump to for the world to fucking fix itself. At least 5%, bro. At least 5%. At least maybe a retest of these lows or break back into range and then maybe range a little bit. But that's it, man. That's it for me, man. $88, 89% win rate on stream. That's insane. And for the last month, all of these wins have been very fucking nice. Very, very nice. Well, take it easy, gang. I appreciate you, Zoom, for showing up. For you Twitch guys that want to join the Zoom, I'm going to find a way to get Zoom to you guys. As of right now, I don't know how, but I will figure it out. Trust me, I got you. Zoom is much, much better. But having Twitch and YouTube in the background supports your boy. Have a wonderful day. See y'all next week. Monday, we back in this bitch for another 1,000 pippers.